I tried Skool's new free trial feature, and in this video I will share my exact numbers with you and I'll give you an opinion, should you try the free trial feature or not. Hi there, my name is Evelyn Weiss, this is my community, and I want to jump straight in with you. This is from an email I sent out to my list today where I broke down all the numbers and also my past experience with trials. So in this video we're going to go over my previous experience with free trials, the exact numbers from testing Skool's new free trial feature, what I'm thinking about the numbers after checking with the peers, okay, and then the moral of the story. All right, just super quick why it's worth listening to me. I started my low ticket online business in 2020. Since then, grew it to 6.3 million. In the process, I acquired over 32,000 subscribers for my memberships, and I played the Skool games in February, came second with $81,000 in new MRR added in 27 days. And this is me on the all-time leaderboards of Skool. So I know a thing or two about memberships and trials and Skool, and so without further ado, let's cover my previous experience with trial, right? So in a life before Skool existed, I tested a $1 trial to grow my back then Funnels and Ads Pro membership. So I had a $27 always open membership that was light, and then I had a premium tier with group coaching calls that was $97 a month. And so I offered a trial and I spent around $150 to $250 to acquire a trial sign up. It was not a free sign up, it was a $1 trial sign up. Right, but in my brain, I put everything in the bucket of trial. And so I pulled the plug on that campaign after I had around 2K spent, because at that time, my membership also was still relatively young and I didn't have any reference numbers about customer lifetime value. So back then, I thought this was a complete fail and I never wanted to try the trials again, right? Although I just had one attempt. And so I was trying to dig back into the numbers, but I couldn't find it in my ad account anymore because in the meantime, I lost a couple ad accounts. But from what I remember, I spent around 2,000. So not massive numbers. Now I went back into my active campaign and I looked on my email list who is still in that list for the $1 trial, and I could find 8 customers. And so how it has developed since then is really, really curious. So here you can see the customer lifetime value of all of those customers that signed up for the $1 trial that are still in my system, right? So there's an opportunity that there were also additional customers that provided customer lifetime value but have unsubscribed in the meantime. But in that case, I probably guess it's very few members. So from the ones that I know are there for sure that I was able to look up in Stripe, I had a total customer lifetime value of $5,000 for an ad spend of $2,000. So over the lifetime, this campaign actually, with me doing a $1 trial, right, which creates a ton of friction, with me not optimizing the campaign in any way, I tested 2 images. And then, after just throwing money at it, I was like, this is not working, I give up. Still, I was able to make back 2.5 times what I invested. And looking at some of the name of those customers, there are 2 that are major brand advocates of mine, right? I know for a fact of them that they brought more people into my world and they're raving fans. So interestingly enough, it was not the ones that produced the most customer lifetime value, but they're still in my world and they still are very, very valuable customers that add to my communities and that keep referring me. So alone from that added benefit perspective, right, plus made $2.5 back for every dollar I put in, I, looking back, would actually consider this a success, especially thinking that I didn't try anything to optimize, right? There was no testing on the ads, right? There was no testing on the sales page for the sign up. I didn't try how to properly onboard those people. I didn't reach out to every single one of them, right? Which at that point in time with my capacity would have been totally possible. I never followed up when they didn't sign up after the trial, right? So there was not a lot of effort for me to actually optimize the campaign. So can you imagine if I did? Now, when the Skool trial came around, I like to test all new features on Skool because, I kind of try to build that relationship with my peers that I do that for them. And so I was like, okay, I need to test this. Well, at that point in time, I already had set my Skool community on a waitlist. And if you're curious, as in exactly why I did that, numbers wise and how I did that technically, that's the video for you to watch. So I broke it down here. So community was on waitlist. So I was like, okay, I still want to try the trial, but I will do it with the people on my waitlist. So at that point in time, last week, Tuesday, there were 229 people on that waiting list. I sent free emails to them, letting them know, now it's your turn. Doors are open. You test the trial. So out of those 229, 29 people signed up for $99 a month, which was also a price increase because before that my community was $49 a month. So that was great for me to see that I actually had, that was about 12% conversion rate from the people from my waiting list, right? And I need to dig in a little bit more here because I actually had one person already reaching out yesterday saying they were on the waiting list, they were eager to get in, but they didn't get an email and were just declined from the waiting list. So I definitely need to look into my setup here again and, reach out to those people too, or at least the person that said they really wanted in. So from those 29 signups, 27 were monthly and 2 were annually for $599. Now, out of those 29, a week later, yesterday night, I saw that 14 trials converted into paying customers. So that is a 48% trial conversion rate. That would be tremendously amazing, right? But it was not that good because out of those 14, 6 payments said card declined. And so what then happens is that Skool gives them 14 more days to retry the billing. And I reached out to Sam to ask him about this, and I just want to quickly share with you the answer that he gave me. So he was like, the extra 14 days is important because we can retry cards 8 times and send 5 emails. We can recover a large amount of the clients in this process and increase your conversion rate. The main thing to look at is your free trial conversion rate, which won't be accurate until trials in progress hit the end of the 14-day decline window. The question is, do you make more money overall with trials or direct to paid? And Dan was like, thank you so much, that makes sense. And he was like, wait and see how many of those 8 convert from declined to paid. Let me know, it could be 20 to 30%. All right, so that's really interesting because if that is happening, my overall conversion rate will improve even more. So if I go back like all the way to the top, right, and I say out of those people, how many really converted? It was 3.49%. And now the really cool thing is that is a very, very similar number to the one that I had when I was trying to scale running ads directly to my paid community. But back then it was still $49, right? So a completely different price point. Now, I shared my results in the community. I personally already consider this a huge success. I was really scared to put the price up, right? And I didn't know how it will be received and what it will do to the conversion rate. With this conversion rate, I'm pretty happy, especially again because it's on the first try. I shared my numbers in the Skool Games community, and Alex commented, and he was like, he was adding a really valuable consideration that I want to share with you here. So he said, just one variable to add into the consideration. Free trials versus straight sales after trials may be equal, but free trials may get 5 extra clicks in an ad because it's a free offer. The traffic is the unlock with trials more than the net conversion. And so I totally agree with this. We had the first members from our community actually trying ads straight to trial. And if you have very little data in your ad account, if you're really starting from scratch and you have a small community where you need to do even more risk reversal, this can be a game changer for you. So I absolutely agree with Alex here. For more of the beginner side, this is a really good thing to test for your community. For me, this overall experience was a really, really good reminder. I had a half-hearted attempt, right? And I really didn't appreciate trials since then. And I'm so glad that I retested. Looking at the numbers, I spent $605 to grow the waiting list, and I made $782 back directly in the first month, right? So even if none of the declines work out, that would be an immediate first month ROAS of 1.3%. Now let's look at that long term. And from a customer lifetime value perspective, my current monthly churn rate is 8.52% in Skool. Now, that means that every customer will stay on average 11.74 months, which gets me to an estimated customer lifetime value of $1,162 per person and $9,289.98 in total from this one, from these free emails to the list of 229 people from the trial. So that would equal a ROAS of 15 within the first year. So those are hypothetical numbers, right? In reality, we deal with real human beings. Economy can change, but it's a good North Star to look at and to assess, right? Is this worth my effort? Now, one thing that was even more surprising to me was after I did the trial, I paused my ads to the waitlist because I wanted to see, what happens to the trial so I don't dump money into something that doesn't work. And the surprising thing was I had 235 people signing up organically from the waitlist. So Skool just very recently updated their discovery algorithm, and I wonder if that contributed to having so many organic signups within just 1 week on Skool. So my overall goal right now is I would change my strategy. The cost per sign up for the waitlist was relatively high. So I think more that I will work with a free conversion event to fill up the waitlist and then ultimately also the trial. Also because I want to connect more and nurture more and attract more of the right people before they go into trial, and then obviously really work on the onboarding. I've been quite sick the last week and my mastermind is buzzing, which I absolutely love. But I didn't have the time to properly onboard those people from the trial, in the sense of I can, with these numbers, I can reach out to everyone personally, make sure, they're good, etc. And so I did in the community, but there's definitely so much more that I can do. For me, the moral of the story is try the trial, right, on Skool. And then also when I try something, I need to try properly, right? One half-hearted attempt, not, looking at the big picture long term, turning things off without optimization, it just resets me, right? Because learning about the whole thing, setting everything up, running the first try, that's already so much of the work, right? The work is so front-loaded, and then the ongoing optimizations is actually much less work than pivoting to something new. And I made a little graphic for you, and really more like for myself, okay? This is Evelyn going in circles because of hard pivots. When we try something and then we don't try again and we're like, let me try something else, we make a harsh pivot, right? And then we try it and then we're like, let me try something else, so we make a harsh pivot. And then we try something and we're like, let me try something else, so we make a harsh pivot. And we're going around in circles, not really getting anywhere. Versus, I tested the trial, 1.3 ROAS in the first month with 15 ROAS in the first year. Well, let me try that again with incremental changes to how I'm driving the traffic and doing the onboarding. Okay, now from the next round where will drive more higher numbers to also better assess, okay, what can I learn now? What can I learn now? Right? So whenever I was moving like this, I would spin in circles. Whenever I was like, okay, incremental changes, I was moving in the right direction. Directionally, it needs to be right? It can never be perfect, but directionally it needs to be right. And when we keep changing what we do, we're making the circle moves, right? And so this is more a reminder for myself than for anyone else. But I think that quite a few of you might be in that same spinning boat where we're paddling in one direction and not really moving forward. Okay, quick bonus, what to do if you're not on Skool. So I implemented a trial funnel before I was on Skool. I did it hyper complicated with ClickFunnels and a script that I got from like some YouTube video that would, then unlock it with the bump. That was really, really complicated. And again, I think the $1 just added unnecessary friction. So that already could have changed my game completely. You can check with your funnel provider how you can set up a trial. It's probably easy. Now, the next thing is, what if you're selling one-to-one coaching, a course, or a group coaching program? So you're not selling a subscription product. You would want to think of free sessions, goal-oriented trials, right? So let me help you get this. And then if we get this, we continue working with each other, right? Free access to a group coaching session. And also you can provide content samples, right? So there's different ways to reverse risk that are similar to this idea of a trial. And then we can also pull to the front end for ads, like Alex said, with the goal to use the free to ultimately drive more clicks, more traffic. Okay, so that is everything that I wanted to share with you. In a nutshell, if you're further in the journey, you're interested in my mastermind, you can click the link below. I will put it somewhere under the video, or you can also find it on Skool under Scale with Evelyn. All right, that's it for this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.